Here we go, guys.
Okay, welcome Final Three to your Rites of Passage. Throughout this game, whether you had a hand in voting these people out, these people that you came across at some point in this game, you will take a good tribute to each of the players that have been voted out in this case. We will go through each of the fallen comrades one at a time, and you guys can say your spiel on each player that has been eliminated, or or if you don't want to, that's your piece. We'll go through each of the players, and then when we're done, that is the end of the rites of passage. Okay. So here we go. Michaela.
Michaela was our first vote. It's really funny because I did not want to vote her out. Josh, you probably remember, I really was trying to buy an idol with our coins so we could blindside Sebastian round one. So and she just was not for it. So I was like, okay, I guess you're getting voted out then. So it was very brief, but it was fun playing with her.
Didn't know her.
I didn't know you either, Michaela. Sorry.
I'm sure you're a nice girl.
Sharon.
Oh, Sharon. She was our first boot on the Sami tribe. She was actually she did the weakest on the challenge, and we already had formed a bond, Miranda, Turner, and Christian. So we already had our alliance intact, and she was just on the outs of the group. So but I did speak with her on Stranded, and it would have been either her or me because we were down to the final two. But so I'm glad I'm here, not her. Sorry, girl.
Hey, Sharon. I feel really bad about the week that we voted you out because you said that you were having a really rough week, and I just felt bad. But again, like Kevin said, Turner, Christian, Kevin, and I had made a strong bond alliance day one, and you just weren't in that, and you had the lowest score. So I'm sorry that it was you that time.
I gotta say that I really got close with Sharon on Stranded. We had a great time. She actually gave me her coins that she had earned on Stranded so I could buy the Stranded idol. So Sharon was actually pretty instrumental in my game, so I really appreciate her.
Casey.
I don't know if any of us played with Casey.
I don't think so either. I don't like who. Sorry I didn't get to know you. You're probably really nice, and really sorry.
Casey, this is the second game that we played together, and both times we were never on the same tribe before one of us was voted out. So again, we never got a chance to play together. So hopefully one day down the line we'll get that opportunity.
He was on Stranded with me at the the first battle back, and while we didn't talk a lot, I don't really know him. I know that, well, from what I understand, he was voted out for being a threat. He had won a previous game, and yeah, would love to have been able to work with him to take out Brogan and Madison and Sebastian. So
Tristan.
Oh, Tristan! I freaking love Tristan. Oh my God, this was such an emotional vote for me. I just remember when he left, and I'm getting emotional now, just remembering that moment. Oh my God, it was horrible. I felt so bad, and Miranda, you should know too, because he made an alliance with us two and KT, and it was a 4, and then I'm just oh my God, I had to stick with Christian and Turner and us 4, and I just felt really bad to vote him off, and I'm getting sad. I love Kristen so much. She's awesome. I'm thinking he was awesome. Oh.
So Tristan, despite what you may have heard on Stranded, I did not blindside you. There was another alliance of 4 of us that we decided to vote you because KT was a triangle. So that was really hard. I told both Kevin and Tristan and Turner, Christian and Turner, that this was a really really hard trouble because you had the best points. It was just a matter of not being in the alliance with everybody that was there.
Yeah, and I also told
awesome.
Tristan that too as Trash Stranded. I was like, I'm sorry, but we had made this alliance on like day one, us four, so I didn't really want to vote him. So he understood, and he just didn't want to make an alliance on day one. So,
So Tristan was probably my favorite person on Stranded. Him and I got really close. I think that he was, that early battle back, he was really my only competition. I was so afraid. I was so neurotic, thinking that he was going to beat me in that water cup challenge. Like, I was not letting my hand down at all until it fell off. And even then, like, I was hoping, he'd be the last, person that came back, because when I got blindsided, I didn't know either one of you really at all, but I knew just from like the intros that like Tristan, people like Tristan. So my whole plan, if I got back in, was to come to all of you. I'm like, I'm going to Tristan and the Basamis right away. So when he was the next one voted out, I was like, wah. But he's a really cool guy. I'm glad I got to know him, and I wish he would have made it further.
Christina.
Well, I think I should speak first. Well, when we did the tribe swap, it was just myself and KT. We teamed up with Rodan to vote out Christina. And at that tribal council, she went into Walmart without wearing her mask. So I was like, girl, you need to wear your mask. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to vote her off, because like, that's dangerous. We don't want your just kidding.
Christina was the one who tried to warn me the round I got blindsided, just to play your idol. But at that time, I was trusting in my alliance with Sebastian and Madison. I just think she was out of the loop. So Christina could have been a game changer for me. I really liked talking to her, and I was really sad to see her go, but I was definitely happy to take her place.
I never got a chance to play with Christina, so I don't know you. I'm sorry.
Turner
was really good at the Flip Cup challenge, and that was really hard voting. Like, I didn't vote Turner out, but when we had the tribe swap, it was me, Christian, and Turner from our alliance that were together. And I had been talking to Sebastian and Rogan and saying, okay, Paige hadn't been very active at all. So I'm like, why don't we vote Paige? But they were protecting her, and they ended up voting Turner. And I did not know that that's how the vote was going. And I was sad to see him go.
Yeah, I was definitely, when I heard the news that it was Turner gone, that's when I knew that, like, I think Basami's in trouble, and I was getting that that vibe that we were all gonna get voted off one by one. And I really like Turner. We've all made an alliance from like the day one, so I was really looking forward to playing this game with him, and I was really sad to see him go.
I did not know Turner at all. The only thing that I had with any kind of relation to Turner was, I told you guys my plan was to go with all the Basamis, and then once I saw him get voted out, I was like, well, there's one more I can't work with. So that's really all I have for Turner.
KT.
Katie spent a lot of time at the Triangle. I did not get to really build that much of a relationship with her because she was constantly being sent to the Triangle. But what little I did know of her, she was just very go with the flow, having fun, and I enjoyed that about her. She wasn't as stressed about the game. She was more, let's have fun, let's do these challenges, let's win as a tribe. It was nice having that refreshing gameplay.
Yeah, with KT and my experience with her when we both got switched over, she was way too trusting with the wrong people and didn't really want to try and make big moves or make waves. So I knew what was gonna go down, and that's why I used my. I believe I had a safety that round, or some kind of a safety without power. So that's what I used that round, and it would have been me gone, from what I hear. But KT left that round, and she was really trusting with Pook. She really trusted Pook a lot, and she wanted to team up with him and go all the way with him. And I couldn't, that time and that point in the game, I was really struggling and trying to get, I don't know, I'm gonna miss her. She was really nice.
Yeah, I think KT was super nice. This sweet girl. Like, well, I went to, when I came back in the game, I went to the Triangle with her, and the first thing I did was just tell her everything. And I'm like, Katie, let's make something happen. And her first words out of her mouth was like, oh, do you trust Pook? And I was like, oh my God, no. So, you know, throughout the whole time trying to get something to happen, I could just see that she was definitely on board working with Pook. Actually, Kevin, she told me, I was like, what does Kevin think about me? She's very honest. She says, Kevin doesn't want to work with you. And I was like, well, okay then. I'm really screwed here. So, you know, I had to get creative, and that's when I sold, you know, Harmony that fake idol because of that round. Because Katie was like, nope, I'm not doing it. So she was a nice girl, but I could not play with her.
It's funny, and look at us now, where we're at. You say that.
Brogan.
Oh, I didn't really get to know him. I messaged him as soon as I came back from Stranded, trying to get to know him, but he didn't really say much to me. So I'm sorry I didn't get to know you that much. I mean, I did message you, trying to talk to you, but I guess you were just set on your huge alliance to get us all out. So I was probably nothing to you at that point in the game. So you probably didn't really want to get to know me. So sorry you felt that way, but that's how I felt towards trying to get to know you. So I'm sorry, but you had to go at that point, and I'm just glad that's when the games changed and things switched around at that moment. So
I'll go. So Brogan and I, we were on the first swap tribe together, and Brogan was very nice, and like we clicked, and we didn't necessarily strategize a lot together, but we talked a lot of life. And actually, one of the hardest days this year for me was during this game, and that day Brogan had messaged me and he said, hey, how's it going? Like, he had no idea that it was the roughest day this year that I've had. And he just messaged me, and I love you, Brogan, and I am so thankful that you just let me like just emotionally like throw everything on you that I was going through. And you were so nice, and you had just kind words, and you were reassuring, and I'm really thankful for our friendship that we had. We may not have played the game necessarily together, but I definitely feel like there was a friendship there, and it was nothing gameplay. It was me. It was the real deal. Like, and I appreciate you for being there that day for me.
Brogan, I think you have a nice dye job on your hair.
Madison.
Ooh, Madison.
The most that I know, I'll go. I mean, the most that I know about Madison is that she worked for a chapstick company, and that she didn't really talk to me after she told me that she worked for a chapstick company, and then like that was pretty much it. So I wish we could have gotten to know each other more, but I guess at that point in the game it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, her chapsticks are very nice. She's also showed me them as well. So I was telling her about, I was launching a radio station, and I was looking for like the merchandise. So she showed me all of her products, and they're really nice. And I wouldn't really talk game with her, except for like when we were on the same tribe. But then when the tribe switched and when the merge came and I came back, she didn't really talk much game with me. I guess just like Brogan, they've already had their mindset as to who they wanted to work with. So I wasn't a part of her game, and I wasn't part of her strategy, and she didn't want me a part of her game. So I guess that's why. But I really love your product and your chapstick.
You know, I was in the alliance with Madison, me, Madison, and Sebastian, and then obviously we know what happened. They blindsided me, and one of my only missions when I got back in this game was to outlast her. And you know, I think she is a great girl. I definitely enjoyed her, but it was very clear to me that she was not breaking away from Sebastian, Brogan, or Molly, and that did nothing for my game. So she had to go.
Sebastian.
So I actually got to talk with Sebastian, not really about game, because at that point he knew already about that we were all working together and they were not in control anymore. So Sebastian came to me and he actually talked to me as a person, and I got to know him as a person. And I feel like in this game he was probably playing a character, so he wasn't. I don't see him as like that in real life, but the things that he said to Anthony were very not really really nice. It was horrible, and I don't think it was right. But I see two different sides of him, and it's I did get to know him as a person, and we did share some personal things about ourselves, and you know, I got to know him. So I don't really. Yeah, but I got to know him as a person. So he was cool with me, but I don't stand for I don't think it's right for what he said about Anthony.
Thank you, Kevin.
I also actually had the opportunity to get to know Sebastian as a person as well. When we had the first tribe swap and we were on a tribe together, him and we again, like with Brogan, we didn't necessarily talk gameplay, but we talked life. And Sebastian had said that he was kind of in a rut, and like I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be having some rough days, and I know how low you can feel. And so I could just relate to him, and I just wanted to give him a hug and tell him that these days will get better. It'll get better. And we continued to talk and build kind of a friendship. I also don't agree with what he said to Anthony. That was just a low blow and not really necessary in a game. And Sebastian actually did, before he walked out of the game, he did come to me and say that he said that he enjoyed meeting me and that he felt sorry that I only seen that ugly side of him. And I just hope that, you know, you can learn from that experience and learn that taking things to a personal level in a game like this isn't needed. But I did enjoy getting to meet you, Sebastian, and build that friendship.
You know, in the beginning, Sebastian and I had a pretty great big friendship. I didn't trust him at all from day one, but I thought we were cool. And obviously, you know, all the drama in this game, I think, for me, revolved around me and him. And it was just a back and forth and a back and forth. And, you know, I'm not going to speak about the comments because it is what it is. I just think that he has a lot of growing to do, and I wish him the best. And you know, hopefully he can figure out his issues with his rut or whatever.
Paige.
I really didn't really get. I tried to get to know Paige, but she was really super busy. You know, she's a mom and she had all her kids around, so it's the only chance I got to like talk with her was like when she had a break. So I didn't really get to know her that much, as well as I wanted to. But you know, she was really nice in the game, and I just wish I got to know her more.
Do you want me to go? I'll go. You know, Paige, everything Paige said to me, I feel like was a lie. So it was really hard for me to trust her. But outside the game, I think she's a pretty cool person. And, you know, I hope whatever she had going on that she had to quit is resolved for her. So I wish her the best.
I will say that I campaigned a lot to try to have Paige get voted out. And when I seen that when we had the tribe swap that Rogan and Sebastian, all them were willing to save her versus voting out like Christian and Turner, who were there present. I knew that there was some deep alliances in the game, and my campaigning to get Paige out for being inactive was useless. And so that's good for you, Paige, that you have those alliances that go deep that will protect you. So I respect you for that.
Kenji.
Oh, it's my girl. I love Kenji. Yes. Oh my God. She was awesome. I was so glad I got to know her and get to work with her. She had a lot of different moves that she wanted to make, and it was just, we've already set like our alliance already, and I just wanted to be loyal to them. And because she made an alliance a little bit too late, trying to work with us. But I really did enjoy her company. She was fierce, she was awesome, and yeah, I love her. I love her attitude. They were both the same, she said. Both queens, yes.
She was definitely a trip. She was so fun to talk to. She made me laugh. Actually, the round that I got blindsided, she gave me a coin to help me buy the idol. So she really helped out my game a lot, even though I didn't, do anything with it. But she kept telling me all game, she's like, Anthony, learn how to shut your mouth. You're too loud. And so, and even once I got back in and we merged, like, Anthony, what did I tell you? Shut your mouth. And so she was really kind of like, I think, my little cheerleader. So I'll always appreciate her for that. And it was unfortunate to see her go the way she did.
I also really enjoyed talking with Kenji. We both said that we wanted to work together. I don't think we ever voted together, though. Like, she had opposite plans of what I had. And like Kevin said, it was a little bit too late for an alliance. But I still love talking to her. I went to message her one time, and I accidentally called her. And she was on that phone call in seconds. She's like, hey, how's it going? And we just talked for like 20 minutes. It was awesome. Like, I love Kenji, and I love talking to you, and I love like just your personality, and you're just so bubbly, and I love it.
Pook.
Oh, Pook. He was so hard to freaking trust. Like, I actually liked Pook a lot. Like, he made me laugh. I probably shouldn't tell you guys this, but he was messaging me during one of the tribal councils, and that's why I was laughing so hard, because of what he was saying. And I think he's a riot, and I just couldn't trust him, because I heard that he made a deal with me, and I made a deal with Madison, Dan, and you, Miranda, and Jim, and it was like, okay, like, you have to go. You're stressing me out as much as just how, kind of how much he scrambled every round. So I definitely felt better once he was gone. I felt like at that point, that was the turning point where we had this game on lock. But I definitely liked him as a person a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. He was definitely both, because like in our chats, he was showing like screenshots of who he's talking to. Like, he's calling Molly this, and like I also couldn't trust him 100%. Like, are you really truly sticking with us, or are you gonna try and make like another alliance with them, just try to like get us out? Because I think he kind of probably was catching on to like how close we were and how close us three were. So I think that's why he was scrambling that last minute, because he wanted to stay in the game as long as he could. He needs to get that word savage out of his mouth, out of his vocabulary. That's not a good word to be using at all. To me, as an Indigenous person, that's kind of like equivalent to the N-word or Black people. So like, please, I know it's a popular song with like, it's all over the radio and everything, but it's not a really good word to be using. But in other words, we do love you, and thank you so much for coming to us and making the alliance, wanting to work with us at the beginning of the merge, because it definitely helped us out. And even though we did have a 4 alliance with Dan before you guys came, so you did help us out getting the numbers.
I mean, that is the truth. I mean, honestly, we do owe a lot of our game to Pook, because if we didn't make that alliance, I don't know if we'd be sitting here. So
Exactly.
Yes. So like day one of merge, Anthony, Kevin, and Dan and I, we formed an Outsiders Alliance, and we decided to go all the way together. And we had made that group, we had made that alliance already, and then Cook, scrambling to save his game because he knew he was on the outs with them, came to us and said, hey, we need to round everybody up and vote out the cool kids. He didn't know that we were already rounded up and he was just going to be a number for us. We weren't a part of his game. He was a number for us. We used him how we needed him to keep our force strong. So don't be calling us goats, Cook. You were part of our game. We already had our alliance and you came to save your butt. You came to us to save your butt. We already had our alliance.
Next. I agree.
Yes, girl. I saw that. I was like, what?
I saw that too. I was like, whatever. I actually put a pretty nasty meme up there. Let me delete it.
Get I'm just gonna be silent. I'm just gonna wait till jury. If I make it there, that is.
I just seen that today, and now it rubbed me the wrong way because we are not goats. We formed our alliance. We hustled. We busted our asses to get there, and we are not goats.
We played every round as hard as we could.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Christian.
Oh, I love Christian.
That was so hard. Go ahead, Kev.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I did keep my word to Christian, and I told him I wasn't gonna vote him off, and I did. I voted out Harmony. Vote got canceled, but yeah, I respect him. I didn't want him to go because I know it's coming back from Stranded of how hard it was for me to adjust. So I just really hope that he got that immunity, but he didn't have it. So I was, I just wanted him to stay at least one round longer than he did, and I just didn't want him to go. But it is what it is, I guess. I love you, Christian. You're awesome.
Oh yes, Christian. Like I said from day one, I wanted to work with you because I loved your passion for the game, your excitement. I just really wanted to work with you. And when you came back from Stranded, I was highly, highly, highly tempted to go Basami all the way because how kick-ass would that have been for it to be just me going into merge, for Kevin to come back, for Christian to come back, for us to go to the end. I was seriously tempted. But we had made our Outsiders Alliance, and I wanted to show my loyalty. And so that's why I ended up having to vote for Christian, and it was a hard one. And I respect you so much, Christian, as a player, and I am proud of you that you battled back and came back in. I'm just sorry that it was so short-lived.
Yeah, I mean, straight out the bat, Kevin and I know how hard it is to get back from Stranded. So that kudos to him there. And I did like Christian, and it's really funny that you guys say that because I was like, oh, maybe I could jump over with Miranda and Kevin if they want to with Christian. But I was like, no, I'm definitely going to be fourth place. I can't do that. But I did get scared. I came to you, Miranda. I came to you, Kevin. I said, listen, it's kind of scary with 3 Basamis still in this game now. And so for me, I felt like if Christian went, then that solidified us 3. There was no turning back at that point. So I didn't give him a chance. And Kevin, you're right. That sucks. I mean, I was given a chance. You were given a chance. But I was thinking more about getting us to the final 3. And I felt like that was something that was going to stop me from getting to the final 3. So.
Jim.
Jim is fucking awesome. He's really cool. I missed all the tribals that he's at and the music and jamming, and we were talking about that. We're both DJs. I'm on the radio, and he's in DJing in the club and parties. So yeah, he's really awesome, and I'm so glad I got to meet him and got to work with him in this game. And yeah, he's really cool. I like him a lot.
I freaking adored Jim so much, but it was so obvious that if he made it anywhere near the final 2, not only was he a challenge threat, but he was also a threat to win this whole game. I felt bad because I definitely felt like I lied to him the round that I played that advantage on him, and then the only votes that could vote, the only people that could vote were me, Miranda, and Dan. So like we just kind of ganged up on him, but we had to do it because he was going to win this game. But I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him about life. He had talked to me a lot about just losing a parent, things like that. Just a really good guy and a good human, and I wish him nothing but the best. And I'm sorry that he was such a threat that we had to vote him out.
Yeah.
Yes, I love Jim as well. Like, we talked a lot of life as well, and I just have so much respect for you as a player. Like, you were a challenge beast. You had the social game. You had it all. Like, if you would have came to the end, you were winning hands down. And I kept my distance that day before travel, because trying to kind of make a distance between us at the end, because I knew that we were gonna have to vote you out, and I knew how hard it was gonna be. And you're such a good player, and I love playing with you, and I respect you, and I hope you play more games. So I think you said this was your first one. I hope you go out and play more games because you're really awesome at it.
He's a really good player, yeah.
Don't be too awesome where you get voted out 7th because you're gonna win.
Harmony.
Go ahead, Kevin.
That's all. I'm just kidding. Oh my God, okay. She lied to me when I got voted out the first time. So when I came back, I just wanted her gone. I didn't really want her to stay. I just wanted revenge against her. But Anthony told me a very funny story. Which made our feud a little bit more funnier. So I really should be mad at Anthony.
I didn't find out till
yeah, arguing with you every tribal council was fun, and I really do enjoy your company. We did talk, like one-on-one, so it wasn't just all like hating on each other, but I really do. I'm really sad of how you went how you went out. I just wanted to say that I hope like everything is going good with you. I hope you're in a good space, and good things are coming are with you. Because the way you went out, like I want to apologize for calling you out. It kind of felt bad, but I knew like you wanted to go. So the way like I did it, it was just it wasn't nice, but when you seen you cry, I just hope everything is going really well with you, and that you're in a good spot in your life. So
harmony. You and I we talked a lot about life. I totally enjoy talking to you, but we were never on the same page when it came to voting, which alliances we were in. I kept trying to convince you that you were at the bottom of Brogan, Sebastian, Molly, and Madison. You didn't want to believe me, but it was so much fun talking to you. I think that you are super smart, super sweet girl. I was really sad that you wanted to go home, but obviously I could see the game was wearing on you, and I wanted to grant you that because I don't know about you guys, I kind of wanted Harmony. Once I knew Dan was a threat, I wanted Harmony to be number 4 because then I knew our plan was good to go. Which is really funny because Pook said it and Kevin, you said it. You're like, do you have a secret alliance with Harmony? And I'm like, no, I don't have a secret deal with Harmony. I just wanted to go as far away with her, A, because I really liked her, and B, I think that if we had her, then our plans would have worked out, even though they did, so it's fine. And C, I just really love the Kevin Harmony drama. I wanted more of that every game, every round. So
I have a lot of respect for Harmony. After Brogan was voted out, then all the girls came to me saying, hey, it's gross, he said this, we're uncomfortable. And I just wanted to know more about the situation to base my own judgment. And so I kind of asked him, like, okay, like what happened? And she said that he had made some comments, and I kind of said, well, like that wouldn't bother me. And I didn't, like, I think I may have offended her by saying that, and I didn't mean to. Like, your opinion is yours, your opinion. He made you uncomfortable. Like, what I say shouldn't invalidate that. So I hope you didn't feel like I was invalidating your feelings or anything. And I know that I had to apologize to you. You said that it was fine, no apology needed, but it was still on my heart to apologize because your feelings are yours. And if you were uncomfortable, like, I have no room saying that you shouldn't have been. And after we had apologized, we did talk some more. I don't think you guys ever really trusted me to want to like really work with me. So our relationship didn't really grow to as much as it could have been. So I hope that you are doing well, Harmony, and it broke my heart seeing you leave that night crying, and I just hope that you're doing well and that your head and your heart are okay.
Molly.
I love Molly. I think she's an awesome person. We talked, personal lives and things outside of the game. So even though like we were on different sides and that we couldn't really like work together because we already had our different alliances and we've been on different sides this whole entire game. So there was really no way I could actually work with her or trust her. But I did get to know her, and so I really enjoyed having her in this game.
Yeah, I liked Molly too. We always talked about things we liked in common, like Taylor Swift and Zac Efron. I like you said, Kevin, she was always just not with us in any kind of plans that we made. So it just it didn't make sense to me to try to incorporate her into any plans except for the round that Dan won immunity, and that was to vote Dan off. But that was as far as I was willing to go with Molly. I think that based on this game, that I think she struggled a little bit to make her own path. I feel like at first she did whatever Madison and Brogan told her to do, and then it turned into whatever Dan and Harmony said. So other than that, though, I mean, she was a great girl. I really liked her.
I really liked Molly too. I wanted to try and work with you guys. Like, I wanted to keep my options open. And I wanted to try and work with you, but I wasn't getting anything. So I felt like it was kind of the same with like Sebastian and Brogan. As soon as like March hit, you were gone. Like, there was no interest in working with me, no wanting to share plans, collaborate, or anything. So it would have been fun to work with you. I think we could have done some damage, and I had fun playing with you. What we did.
Lastly, Dan.
I have to tell you, that was the hardest vote for me this whole game, because Dan, when I came back in, Dan and I got together to make a plan to get us to the end, and I didn't think it was going to work at all, and we got to the 4, and he has been such, he's really like, I consider him a friend. Like, we talked about a lot of things together. I think all 4 of us always talked about strategy. He was just like, I think he was not only his own cheerleader, but he was all of our cheerleaders too. Like, he was really a good guy, and I think that he had to go because of that, because he had the whole resume. I mean, he had, Sebastian gave him all of his damn advantages. Who thought that Dan's the reason that he got voted out? Like, I think if we were sitting here with Dan right now, none of us would stand a chance. So he had to go, and I had to make a really hard decision that I didn't want to. I mean, you can ask Josh that I was voting for him. I was like, no, I'm gonna cry. Like, it was really, really hard for me to vote for Dan, and I love that kid.
Yeah, I love Dan a lot too. When we were on a tribe together, we were on separate sides. I think at one point I did want to vote him off, and he heard about it, but that's what I guess. Well, because everyone was working together except for me, so I was trying to like scramble. So we did have our moment of like being on separate sides, and then I'm glad that we came together on the merge, and you wanted to work with us after I came back from Stranded, and we formed the Outsiders, and we made it to the Final 4. But yeah, you definitely would have won this game if you went to the end, and you were just a huge threat to win. So you're an awesome player. I'm glad you beat your goal and beating your Final 5. So now you're at Final 4. But you're an amazing player, and I'm so glad I met you. I'm so glad that we had our conversation, and me getting to know you. I consider you a friend as well. So I'm glad I met you, and respect your game, and I respect you as a player and as a person.
Oh, Dan, he had said a few different times that coming into a game, his one goal was to make a friend. And you've definitely made more than one friend this game, Dan. You've found a bunch of us. We all love you, and we think you had an awesome game, and that's the only reason that you're not here. Like, there was no chance we could have beat you, and we love you, and I enjoyed talking to you and building our friendship as well. And I hope that we can continue to talk and be friends after this as well.
Go Dan.
Okay, that concludes the rites of passage. Feel free to allow any emotions that you may concealed up this entire time, and we'll get straight right into the next one.